welcome back to my channel. It's Talia Faye here. It's been a really long time since I've sat in front of the camera and filmed something, but I had something happen to me that I really wanted to share with you guys, and yeah, that's why I'm filming. I also left all of my camera equipment and stuff like that in Wilmington, and my soon-to-be sister-in-law lent me all of her stuff, which was like super nice. So shout out Sarah, because her camera is so much better than mine is. I'm sure you can see all my flaws perfectly. So anyways, this is going to be a story time video. I hope you enjoy this video, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Today I went to the doctor, and the reason I went to the doctor was because I had this thing inserted into my arm called the nexplanon, and nexplanon is a birth control. It's just like an insert in your arm where it basically is a 3-year period where you don't have to take any birth control, because that's your birth control. It's kind of like those other kinds of inserts, like the Nuva ring and those weird things they put in your uterus, you know, that kind of stuff, but it's in your arm. So a lot of young women have those, and I decided that 4 weeks ago I wanted this in my arm really bad because it would just be that much easier than taking birth control. Turns out that since I have extreme anxiety and depression, this did not go well with my mood, and it didn't go well with anything else in my life. It basically made me have major panic attacks every day for the past 3 weeks. I mean, it was a very bad experience for me. So today I made an appointment to go and get this removed. To get this inserted, they have to basically numb you with an anesthetic and then make an incision and just like stick it in. So I hadn't gotten to see my real doctor because, you know, I trust my real doctor. I've been going to her for years. We have to get this done at a gynecologist or an OBGYN. So I trust her. Like, I've been going to her for years. You know, I'm almost 21, whatever. She wasn't in today. She's on vacation, which is good for her. But I went ahead and I was like, you know what? I need to get this stupid thing out of my freaking arm before I hurt someone. Like, please, Lord, just give me whatever doctor you can that can take this out of my arm. So I guess the story time is kind of my fault because I was so freaking desperate to get this out of my arm. So I went in today with Austin at like 11 a.m. and I was so excited to get this taken out. It was just like going to be a miracle to me. I was literally pumped. I woke up like 2 hours earlier, pumped, ready to go, whatever. And we go, and I talked to the nurse. The nurse is really sweet because, of course, like, you have your main doctor and you usually get their nurses when you go. So I had like a completely different nurse, and she was super sweet, and we were just talking about like what she went to school for and having a good time, you know, whatever, chit chat. And then the doctor comes in and she's asking me questions like, why do I want to get this taken out? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm really hormonal. And she tells me that there's no hormones actually coming out of the birth control implant. It's actually Depo-Lupron, which, if you're not common with medical terms, which a lot of people probably aren't, that's a kind of therapy for endometriosis, where you basically feel like you're going through menopause. So that's what this was making me feel. It didn't have a high dose of it. It had a very low dose, but it made me have hot flashes, random panic attacks, and a lot of other things. So there was no estrogen coming out of this thing that was in my arm, but it was the Depo. So she explained that to me, and I was like, okay, yes, you know what, take this thing out of my stupid arm right now. Like, just take it out, it's fine. So they leave the room, and I'm excited. I lay back in the doctor's office chair. I'm like, yes, please cut me open. I'm fucking ready. They ain't ever gonna stop barking. There's 5 dogs in this house. I was sitting there on the table. I was like, yes, Lord, cut me open. I'm ready to get this thing taken out of my arm. She literally, okay, first of all, she brought in all the stuff to do the procedure. It's basically like a miniature operation, but it's you're not under anesthesia. You literally get local anesthetic into your arm, which means it doesn't affect you. You don't fall asleep. It's literally numbing the area. So she numbed the area without telling me at all. Like, I didn't even feel her take, like, you know, one of those antibacterial wipes and wipe me with it before. Like, literally all of a sudden, with no word from her that we were starting, she's just like, poke! And it hurt like a bitch because I had scar tissue there from the time before. So I'm like, ugh. And she just keeps going around the whole thing. She's like, poke, 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 poke. Like, okay, so I'm like, okay, fine, you know what? As long as I'm gonna be numb, I don't give a fuck. Like, just keep stabbing me, you know? But I could still feel the shots. Like, the last time I got this with my regular doctor, it was one shot and I was numb and I couldn't feel the rest of the shots. And she put it in. I literally did not feel anything. She asked me, can you feel this? Touching my arm really hard. I said no, before she even inserted the damn thing to cut my arm open with. So, this lady, she doesn't even ask me. She doesn't even ask me, okay, are you numb yet? Nothing. Nothing. She just goes ahead and literally I feel this freaking like slash. And I thought the cut was so much bigger than it was, because keep in mind that this cut is really tiny. Like, I'm being super over dramatic, but it was really painful. Like, literally, I felt like my arm was being slashed open, like with a razor or something. Like, it really, really hurt. Like, it felt like an object that wasn't sharp enough was trying to cut my skin open, and it was like applying pressure and pressure and pressure and pressure. So she didn't even warn me about that. So first it's not warning me about like shooting me up with the local anesthetic, and then it's not warning me that I'm about to get cut open or are you numb yet? It's a simple question. Are you numb yet? What the hell? I'm sitting there and I'm literally dying. Like, Austin said he almost threw up because there was like, you know, she had to take some kind of medical tweezers and try to pull this. It's basically like this long, and it's just like it's a thickish kind of device that is the birth control thing. So it's right inserted in your arm right there. Literally, she's taking a tweezer into this little incision she made, and she's pulling. She just keeps pulling and pulling, and I feel it. Like, I can feel her pulling my, like, flesh. My flesh inside of my body is being pulled. And Austin said, literally, I was about to throw up. I just kept seeing her pull skin and skin and skin. So I remember I was just like breathing really deeply, because if I would have looked to the left side, I would have probably thrown up or passed out, because I don't like seeing my own blood unless I'm getting like my blood drawn. I can't look at my own blood just like oozing out of me. So I'm like looking the other way. Austin's staring right at what's happening, and I'm looking at Austin, and Austin's face is like, he's literally sweating and just like staring. And I just want to like shake his hand and be like, stop looking, because he's making me want to pass out. Like, vicariously through looking at him, I wanted to pass out. Like, it was this entire thing. And I'm doing my deep breaths. I'm like, because it hurts really bad. It's not like the painful cry hurt. I mean, I guess some people have cried because the nurse after was like, you didn't cry, that's good. But like, it hurt. Like, it just, you could feel what was going on, and you're not supposed to feel it when they give you the local anesthetic thing. So, goddamn, I swear to God, it took her 10 fucking minutes to get this tiny little, maybe 2-inch object out of my arm. And it wasn't a foreign object, it was an object placed there to like help my body. So I was so confused. I was laying there feeling like I was gonna pass out, like sweating out the wazoo. Literally, I was just not having it. And I didn't know her. I wasn't familiar with her. She wasn't familiar with me or my chart. And there was just so many things wrong about what was happening. It was so uncomfortable for me. I almost felt like it was equivalent to like going to a really shitty tattoo shop and like getting your tongue pierced or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it just felt wrong. Like, it felt like something happening was extremely wrong. So finally the thing is taken out of my goddamn arm, and I'm like, hallelujah, and I'm not even looking at this damn doctor, and she's like, oh, you did really good, you didn't cry. I'm like, thanks, yeah, I know I didn't fucking cry. And then this nurse, who I really liked, I like the nurse a lot, she was like wrapping it up, and they put like these little, they're not stitches, they're like these little band-aids that are kind of like the like disappearing stitches band-aid things. So they put that over it, and then she's wiping away like all this blood. She keeps turning my arm over. She's like, oh, sorry, you have more blood. Oh, sorry, you have more blood. And I'm just looking at Austin like, what the hell just happened? Like, no. So then they wrapped my arm with this Pokemon colored thing and gauze. Like, this was literally Pikachu o'clock. And I was in the car so pissed on the way home. The entire way home, I was like, I'm gonna file a malpractice suit on them. Like, I was so mad, but at the same time, it's completely my fault because I shouldn't have gone to her. I should have waited for Dr. Nauman to get back, but I was so antsy and ready to get this out of my arm. I really thought it was the cause of my problems, so I needed this thing out of my arm. You know what I mean? Like, I would have cut it out of my arm. Like, it was getting to that point. So I'm just glad a professional did it, but I guess the moral of this story is never go to someone who's not your primary doctor, because you never know what you're gonna get. For real, there's some scary doctors out there. Anyways, that is going to be all for this video. If you have any requests for videos, please link them down below. I usually do makeup videos and favorites videos and stuff like that. So please go ahead and comment below with any requests and give this video a thumbs up. I love you guys. Bye.